Hi, Anjana. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Asmati.
So there are a lot of known faces for all of us, and so we are so thankful that you have come to support this forum. And this forum is for women like us, all of us. Somewhere or other, probably age doesn't matter, just being women matters, and that is why you are here. And I'm so very, very happy that you have come and you're spending some time with us. So just before we start the session and we introduce our guest today, and then we talk to her and know something more about the topic today, I would like to, because this is our first session of Hold, like just to let you know what is our objective, why we started this Hold forum for women online. So just bear with me. I will not take more than 2 minutes. So our mission is to create a supportive space for women to come together to share their experience with hormonal changes in any stage of their life. It's not just the topic we picked up was a strong topic, the first one, but it is not just that. Every stage of our lives. In this space, there will be also opportunities to learn from each other as well as from experts. Together, we will explore, be informed, and probably challenge taboos and myths, the preconceived notions about hormonal changes and about periods and menopause and everything else. And our vision is actually to create this online community for everyone. When I say everyone, all women, all ages, and just understand the different hormonal phases of a women's experience, because we don't have any formal information or formal education that has been shared to us all our life. We always have been learning from each other. I come from a background where my background is very orthodox. So I didn't even learn so much from my mother or my sister or my grandmothers, because they will never talk about it. They will keep everything to themselves. So I, as a person, understood this, and I also recognize that there are many like me out there. And for women of all ages to have increased access to information and expertise, and to create a better everyday experience for all women through increased self-awareness and validation from others in this community. This will empower us probably and to develop resilience and well-being in this journey of ours. So our objective is simple: learning from each other and supporting, as I said. So it's an active listening, validation, experiences, and your experience is your experience, mine is mine. I can't say that what you're feeling is not right. It's not what it is, So we respect each and every person's experiences in this forum, and provide space to share. And one important thing I would, of course, add, sharing some research and findings. There are a lot of research out there. We have social media, we have Google to thank for all the information out there. But how do we see this information? Is it authentic, or is it creating some kind of a confusion? So somewhere when we see this, we already shared a very nice, for brain health, we shared one TED talk. And that person had actually done an intensive research on it. So we will make sure that the things that we share are, authentic, and there is some kind of a backing and research being done to what they are talking. Then strategies and tips like nutrition, environment, bodily changes, even fashion. We want to bring even, what will we feel comfortable at a certain time. Say I'm a pregnant woman, what would make me feel good about me and myself? And then, of course, heartfulness meditation, because I believe that that has given me the inner strength and well-being during my menopause time. And one community agreement that we all have this space. What is learned here, we leave here. What is shared here stays here. So we don't leave the learning, but we leave the learning to the extent that we don't bring it out and say that this one said this or that one said this. We share that confidentiality with everybody. The space is for the audience to lead the conversation, and we expect you to come forward to asking questions today also. So thank you for listening. I hope I didn't bore you with a long mission and vision statement. My co-founders will take this session forward. I invite Bhairavi and, of course, Devi. Both of you will be talking to you and talking to the guest in the next 45 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vasu. Thank you very much. Vasu has given us an idea what this is going to be about. And the person today we are going to talk to is Dr. Usha Kiran. In fact, she's going to talk to us. She's a consultant gynac and a laparoscopic surgeon with Prime Medical, with almost 30 years of experience in India, UK, and now she's in UAE. Okay, other than being a successful gynac, she also has other interests like Kathak, Bollywood dancing, Bhangra, and trekking. In fact, recently she's trekked. Let's listen to her. Dr. Usha.
Hi, everyone. Very nice to have me here. Thank you, Bhairavi, for such a entertaining introduction about me. And thank you, Vasu, for telling us more about the forum, which is very. I mean, I agree with all the things that you said, that we are here to interact and share and learn and assimilate from each other, which will make us empower us and make us stronger. And that, I think, it's a very, very good initiative that you people have started, and I'm very glad to be a part of it and to be a part of the first session, which is it's an honor, I have to say.
Bhairavi, so you have anything more to share about Dr. Usha? You're on mute. Yes. Okay, while Bhairavi is trying to unmute, let me unmute Bhairavi. Okay, so we can go into the QA, the most awaited session. Like, thank you all for joining today. We are indeed quite impressed for joining us for the first meeting. I'm very happy that this is happening. Like, we all have come together for women, and isn't it a nice thing to have a nice chat with a bunch of women on a Friday evening before a weekend starts? Thank you, Dr. Usha, for agreeing to do this. Okay, let me start. I've heard this term menopause in the movies, dramatically, or in the books that I read, like what happens to the protagonist after that, before that, something like that. I want to understand from you a gynec perspective of what is menopause. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah. So menopause, as the word says, meno is the menses part of it, the periods part of it, and pause is stopping. So when your period stops, you have reached menopause. So that is the kind of, the literal definition of menopause. But of course, the periods can stop when you're 30 also, and that does not really mean that you're in menopause. Usually when you're around 45 and above, your periods are stopping for a longer time, not just the one period stopping, more than 6 months. That's kind of the medically, we kind of classify it as menopause. More than 6 months, if you haven't had a period during that period, most likely you're going through menopause. Now, to confirm the menopause, you've got to do the hormonal test. So people can have an early menopause even at the age of 35. if they stop having their periods, we investigate, find out if there are any other causes for stopping the period. If not, and then, we can find out by the hormones that they've actually reached menopause. So whether it's premature or, timely, confirmatory is the hormone testing.
Okay, thank you. So a period that is stopping for 6 months or so can be some indication that this is starting. You
Yeah.
also answered my next query that I had in mind, like, no, I'm 44. Oh my God, I told my age to you all. I'm 43, in fact, to be precise. And should I expect it already? Because I'm already very angry, having hot flushes. I'm not sure whether it is.
Okay, the answer to that, you're probably going to be angry for a few years before before you have the explosion. That's my answer. The average age for menopause is anywhere from 48 to 52.
Okay.
Yes, you can end up having a menopause at 45, or you can end up having a menopause at around 55. But for medical terminologies, if you don't have a menopause by 55, if you're continuing to have a regular periods after 55, it is considered a little more abnormal and it needs to be investigated. Anything before that, yes, from 45 to 55, I would say it's a wide range. You can have menopause. But the premenopausal symptoms can start as early as when you're 40. It is very, very subjective to different people. So you can start, some people might just go through menopause with hardly any symptoms. And some people can start having them at the age of 40. So it is the declining function of the ovary. You start having the symptoms, and when the ovaries completely stop functioning, then you go through menopause.
Okay, that's a very good information for me, that if someone is having periods even after 55, that's abnormal. Like we have seen this side of it, like onsetting of the menopause. But if it is still not onset, then there is something not okay.
Need to be investigated. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor. I'm requesting the audience, like, no, would you be able to put your questions also? Like, as we are going to as we are speaking, we are asking a lot of questions, but you may also have some questions that you really, really wanted to know, and this is the forum. So please go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. You can send it to any one of us, or you can put it in the chat so that we can collect and ask towards the end of the session. Thank you. So let's talk about this. No. How do I know, like, no, you answered with little bit of in the previous questions itself. How do I know that I'm having menopause? Like, so now I know the age is 48 to 52 or something. There are some cases that it may happen earlier also. What are the things that I can expect symptoms?
Yeah. So the stopping of the period is when we say menopause. But there are a lot of symptoms associated with it. So the stopping of the period has a time, like whether it's at 48 or 50 or 52, you stop the period, that is menopause. So the menopause does not happen in one day, in one go. It is happening, and you're going, it's almost like a flowing river is not stopping in one go. It is flowing, and then it's trickling and trickling, and eventually it comes to a stop. So during that process, there are a lot of symptoms. And women think that, oh, I'm still having my periods. Maybe I'm not having menopause. You're not having menopause, but you're having perimenopausal symptoms.
Okay.
So they can be they're basically menopausal symptoms, but they're coming before the menopause. So they are quite hard to deal with. And to accept that this is possible even before menopause is something that women should be aware of, that you're probably going through the perimenopausal period, which is a changeover period. Some of the symptoms, like you were asking me, you can start having hot flushes, what we call, where women are getting this sudden flush of heat in the upper part of the body. Usually happens in the night because of the changing hormones and the rhythm, circadian rhythm. And then after that, they're left with profuse sweating. This can actually be quite disturbing because you are in the middle of your sleep, and then you can wake up with this real feeling of heat and then the sweating. And then it disturbs your sleep quite a bit. And many women go through it. It doesn't have to be in the night. It can happen during the day as well. And also, I remember this. My mother used to go through this. I mean, I had it, but I was aware of it. But my mother used to go through this. And she would like sit with us in the evening, and then she would say, it used to be nice and cold and pleasant for us. And she would say, put the fan on, put the fan on. My dad used to be most of the time angry, saying, why are you putting the fan on? Why are you wasting the electricity when it's not even hot? And she was like, I can't take it anymore. So that is the feeling you get when everybody else around you is comfortable. You can feel very uncomfortable with these flushes and sweats. That is one of the symptoms. Now, the other symptoms are very, very vague, where your moods can vary from being one day very nice, the next day you're very jittery and irritable. You feel that you used to multitask, but now you find that you're given 2-3 jobs together and you're like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You feel overwhelmed by the tasks around you, which you were all capable of doing them very well before. And some days you just don't feel like doing anything. You can just feel very sad, and for no reason. Everybody is very nice to you, and you can still feel very sad with no external incident to make you sad. You can feel sad. So there is a variation of mood
swings
and they can be very disturbing. And especially I say to the modern women that we are, who we are used to being in control of ourselves. We get up in the morning, we do this, we do that, and I can handle this, I can handle that. For us, losing control over one's own emotions is a very, very difficult thing to accept. And I've been through it myself, and I'm 54. So I've been through it. So I've survived menopause. I'm a menopause survivor, I have to say. So, I mean, there are two things in a woman's life. I'm going a little off the topic here. I would say 2 things in a woman's life, which you can call yourself a survivor from. One is going through the labor pains and childbirth. If somebody has been through that once and given birth to a child, you are a survivor. You're a survivor in all senses. And you go through menopause, you survive. So women actually, go through almost something equivalent to death and survive and get a new life. So menopause is like coming out of menopause is a new life. So what I was saying was that you can actually feel quite out of yourself, and you keep thinking, why am I behaving like this? This is not like me. And you feel a lot of guilt, because at home you're taking it out on your husband, kids, and usually the husband who suffers the most.
You're already gone by then.
Sorry, I'm interrupting such a